Okay, good evening, everybody. I wanted to first put out an update for OMG, OmiseGo. I'm using the Bittrex price feed, and the way I see it right now going is got a little bit of a concern. So we saw Bittrex carries a price from here, I guess. Even from here, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those of you who are new to my blog, welcome. Thank you for an opportunity for me to present to you my analysis, hopefully, which can augment your own due diligence. I utilize 3 primary techniques in combination. One is called the Elliott waves. The second is called chart pattern recognition. And the third is an indicator that I use called moving average converging divergence, MACD. Often I use all 3 simultaneously because having a primary and secondary confirmatory indicator to the counts has become very valuable for me. Now, what I will be starting to do is putting out some very basic didactic videos regarding Elliott wave counts. I'm going to try and do this maybe after this weekend. Put at least 1 or 2 or 3 very basic videos that will take you through the very beginnings of Elliott waves, the principles of Elliott waves, and the structures of Elliott waves, and the rules of Elliott waves, at least from counting an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actionary type of motives. And I know I should have done that probably a lot earlier. It's just all of this takes a lot of time. I will do it. It'll probably be done by this weekend or so and put out and posted early next week before I start traveling again. So for the new viewers and followers, welcome and thank you for giving me an opportunity to provide my analysis and present it to you, hopefully in a way that is helpful, but also informative so that you can make the best informed decisions about your next steps with cryptos. So here is OmiseGo OMG, a very popular coin amongst a lot of the people out there that I've been reviewing on other bloggers regarding this coin. And I have to say that for now, OMG, I can count to maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves. And just to give you a quick introduction, especially to the new people, regarding Elliott waves. Elliott waves move in 5 waves. Okay? And together, they represent a motive. Now, there is a set of rules that guide how you label these. But more importantly, just to take you back a little bit, technical analysis really is nothing more than a method to measure the reflection of sentiment. Sentiment drives price. And what is behind sentiment is, in my opinion, thought. There is a very famous saying that I always bring to my mind, and it states, "What are words but symbols of symbols, hence twice removed from reality?" So thought, feeling, words. Thought, feeling, Elliott waves. In other words, thought, feeling, and then the price charts. And then the price chart is really the reflection of sentiment. Therefore, Elliott waves, or any technical analysis, similar to words being twice removed from reality, any technical analysis is really the same thing. It is twice removed from reality. Twice removed from being able to measure true, direct, not only sentiment, the thought behind the sentiment. Therefore, Elliott waves moves according to sentiment, and it itself has a very intricate and deep relationship amongst the 5 waves under the Fibonacci ratio. There is tremendous amount of Fibonacci ratio, all based upon the golden ratio of 0.618. And that Fibonacci golden ratio actually drives, it is embedded in all of our biology, all of our sciences, mathematics, how the vortexes of our galaxies turn, the double helix turns of our DNA at the level of molecule and atomics and quantum levels as well. It is only at the event of quantum events where the ratios could be non-existent, because that is at a different realm, so to speak. So I won't get into that right now, but all waves are interrelated through a common spine of Fibonacci ratio. And we try to measure it, utilize it, by measuring waves of emotion or sentiment that ebbs and flows in 5 waves. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1, 3, and 5 are actionary waves. Wave 2 and 4 are retracement waves. Every 5 waves must have a 3-wave retracement in the form of ABC. Okay? And this wave 1 and 2 have a rule where the lowest point of wave 2 cannot equal or exceed the lowest point of wave 1, just like you see here. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest amongst the 5. The bottom of wave 4 cannot overlap with the peak of 1. And wave 5 simply must have 5 subwaves itself. So let's go to this here. I have wave 1, wave 2. The bottom of wave 2 does not equal or exceed below the start of wave 1. Check, just like here. Wave 3 definitely is not the shortest, as you can clearly tell right away it's longer than wave 1 and wave 2. Wave 4, the bottom of wave 4 cannot overlap with the peak of wave 1. No problem on that. Check. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 only states that wave 5 must have 5 subwaves. So what I mean by that is wave 1, wave 3, and 5 each must have, if you drill down into it like with a microscope, each has 5 waves. Okay? These 5 waves make up subwaves of wave 1. Same thing with wave 3. It must have 5 waves that obey the 5-wave rule application that I just explained to you. And wave 5 also must have 5 subwaves. So at every degree of trend, whether it's at the minute, nanosecond, hourly, daily, centennial, monthly, these waves are ebbing and flowing simultaneously at all degrees of time. And that, to me, reflects to what Einstein himself said. He said that time is a figment of our imagination because it is not a linear event, because everything all happened at the same time. Not the time, at the same instant. So here, wave 1, if you drill down into it, has 5 subwaves. Wave 3, if you drill down into it, has 5 subwaves, just like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5 has 5 subwaves. Get rid of the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 waves, you must have a correction of ABC. Now, it is currently in the middle of that correction. Okay, this is where I am now thinking, okay, I'm going to draw some trend lines so that I can get a pattern, chart pattern. And if I count to ABC, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I bring this line on the, so I get a symmetrical triangle. And this symmetrical triangle is even and horizontal. It's not pointing downwards, not pointing upwards. And if I have 5 here, then what I can potentially count is label this A, B, C, D, and E. Now, when I said to you there's a 3-wave correction, there are 3 types of correction that can be possible. One is called a zigzag, another one is called a flat, and the third type is called a triangle. I won't get into the zigzag and flats right now, but since this is a triangle, I'll get into a triangle. Triangle can have A, B, C, D, E mode patterns. And each A is a 3-wave. All corrections are 3 waves. So ABC 3 waves, ABC 3 waves, ABC 3 waves, ABC 3 waves, ABC, and so on. Now, when you get an ABCDE, usually you should be breaking up upwards. You should resume the trend upwards like this. Usually that should be what? In fact, that should be the expectation. However, there is a pattern here that is concerning to me, and that is called a head and shoulders pattern right here. The left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and this is called a neckline. The head and shoulder shows a potential minimum move that is just way too exceeding. Anyways, before I get there, let me show you the volume. The only thing that does not, the only thing that concerns me about the accuracy and the validity of this head and shoulders is that the volume does not confirm exactly. The volume should have the same shape. Left shoulder volume should be lower than the head volume and the right shoulder volume. But instead, the volume is declining, like so, just exactly like what a symmetrical triangle should be doing. As it gets closer to where the 2 lines converge, this is called the apex. Okay, this is called the apex, and as it gets closer, price gets closest to the apex, it gets pent up in agitation and it's going to surge out. either up or down. That is one of the features of a symmetrical triangle. You don't know whether it's going to go up or down. Usually when it's an A, B, C, D, E, and the E is in the bottom, the tendency is for it to go up instead of down. But it is a chart pattern of uncertainty. And until it gets resolved, either up or down, it's going to be on a bit of a holding pattern. Okay, so that's my current assessment for OMG. I am not alarmed. I am not uber bullish yet on this. But one way or another, we need to see a resolution on which direction the price is going to go. I'm leaning towards up. I'm leaning towards up. That this E is done. But it got repelled right here and back down again it is. So I'd be curious as to what happens here. Let's see what happens on the OMG price action for overnight.